How's it feel?
Oh, it's feels like home. It really does.
And we're glad you're home, Scott Lewis. After all, your investigative stories were part of our homes, at least on the TV set, for more than 20 years. Scott Lewis investigations were unlike anything anyone had ever seen anywhere.
Let me tell you how I got onto these guys. I got a tip from a Fox 2 viewer who kept seeing those city trucks in the bar parking lot.
Already established as a top-notch reporter, in the late 90s, the formation of the Fox 2 Problem Solvers Unit was what took Scott to a whole new level. The first big hit was the Pothole Patchers.
We went out on a Monday morning. We had a producer, 3 photographers, myself. We had body cameras.
It may not look like much now, but this was groundbreaking, following crews of taxpayer-paid city workers from the moment they arrived in the morning till they called it quits was something no one had done before. What these guys did or didn't do during their shift was eye-opening. What they didn't do was much pothole patching. What they did do was stop for breakfast, booze, and bathroom breaks right on the street. Scott showed it all.
It was so outrageous, we just thought the presentation should be a little outrageous, too.
10 a.m. It's Miller time.
Scott injected a lot of humor, popular music, and a can-you-believe-this attitude to the story that had everyone talking. The news story was such a big hit, it was news.
The next day I got up and there was a story in the Free Press about my story.
After that, Scott's Busted on the Job stories became appointment TV.
Once we started doing these, we realized that this thing of loafing on the job was kind of an epidemic in Detroit. It was all over the place. And not only did these stories get a lot of attention and draw a lot of eyes to the TV, we fixed a lot of that.
And the motto of the Problem Solvers Unit, we're not going to just tell you the news, we're going to show it to you, was not only popular, but effective.
It was kind of like government by embarrassment. We just had fun, creating these stories, and we worked a lot of humor into our scripts, so it was just, they were the days, Rob. The best time of my life.
Goofing on lazy workers was a unique style of storytelling, but Scott was still that serious journalist, always on the street, liked and trusted by everyone.
I got a tip, a call from a prostitute calling from a payphone on the east side and said somebody was out there killing prostitutes.
Scott began connecting what were thought to be random murders together.
I called the Detroit police, the guy in charge of homicide, and he goes, serial killer? What serial killer? We haven't had any series of killings.
Eventually, the Mack Avenue Killer Task Force was formed.
And they ended up arresting a guy named Shelley Brooks. He charged them, I think, with 6, convicted of him 4, and thought he had probably killed at least a dozen women.
Scott left WJBK more than 10 years ago and started his own private investigation company, working in semi-retirement from his Florida home.
I've seen you on like Netflix and some of these shows for some of your PI work, so you're still kind of a famous guy, right?
Yeah. The only difference is I don't have to slap the makeup on and, get out on TV.
Slap on the pancake?
Yeah, slap on the cake, as we used to say.
I only see my old partner from the Problem Solver Unit once every couple of years, but we always click. Scott is a great friend and a mentor, and taking him on a stroll around Fox 2, it's obvious I'm not the only one who loves the guy. And the feeling is mutual. For Scott Lewis, perhaps the best investigative reporter in the 75-year history of WJBK TV, every time he was on the air, it was an event.
I remember coming out to do my pieces live and, at 10 o'clock and the excitement and the nervousness. People think you don't look nervous on TV, but you are a little bit. You got the butterflies. But yeah, a lot of great memories. A lot of great memories.